Hey, welcome back to the No State Project channel. I'm Mark Stevens, glad to be with you here. Going to talk a little bit today about ethics. I know I was supposed to do a video on jurisdiction, but I just have not been able to get to the place that I'd like to do that. So trust me, it's going to be worth it. Probably next week. But before I get into talking about ethics again, which has always been an important part of the No State Project, please like and subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and leave a comment. Let me know what type of videos, what topics you would like me to discuss here on the channel, and I will get to it. And if you'd like to help support the No State Project channel so I could do more videos more frequently, you can do so. The links are in the description. And if you haven't got a copy of one of the books, I have links in the description that you can get a copy today. Let's talk about ethics again. Always a big topic. The reason why I'm an anarchist is because of ethics. I am not the angry young man, maybe at one point, but it was always an ethical position, being a better person than those bureaucrats, those judges, the lawyers, the cops. Being a better person. Ethics, of course, being philosophy of principles of right and wrong. Whether those are cultural or not, basic principles of right and wrong. And how we should treat other people, being a good person. I'm an anarchist because I believe in basic principles of right and wrong. That from a non-religious standpoint, that we should treat people the way we want to be treated, out of empathy. It's giving a damn about other people. Because if you see in this picture, this is really what triggered me, why I wanted to do this particular video. I took this because it was at a disgust that somebody would do something like that, to just give up, to just say, I found goal, I got mine. They just leave the cart right there, even though it was right next to where the carts go. So they could have taken a moment and not blocked that spot, but they didn't. So I don't swear in English, but it's va fango, hoi o mio, huh? F you, I got mine. But to be ethical, to be a good person, is to have empathy, and is to treat others the way we want to be treated. This idea that F you, I got mine, is somehow makes you a tough guy or somehow makes you a good person. No, absolutely not. See, the tough guy attitude is, I'm an anarchist, or I'm for freedom. I don't owe you anything, you don't owe me anything. So does that mean that I owe you no respect? I don't have to treat you as a person. I don't have to treat you the way I want to be treated. I could just treat you like a douchebag. I just don't see how that is an enviable position. I think, however you want to put it, I think we owe each other some modicum of morality and ethics, and to treat other people with respect, until of course they show otherwise, like cops. But that's what it means to be a good person. So something that's come out in this last year and a half or so is this extreme attitude of selfishness. Not being able to do anything with any kind of concern for anybody other than yourself. And it's not a uniquely American phenomenon. It's something you see. And by the way, I'm in Mesa, Arizona, of course, and it is it's after 5 o'clock, but it is still over 110 degrees out here. So just know, putting my life on the line for this channel. But the idea, this selfish attitude that about my freedoms, that even the slightest thing, like putting that cart back, F you, I got mine. Just complete, utter disregard for other people. Block the thing, block up the space. And you say, well, what's the big deal? It's not the cart itself. It's not that. It's the attitude that no one else matters but me. Va fango, hoi o mio. That's, F you, I got mine. It's that particular attitude. Because I'm fairly certain that the people who left that cart there, also, even though the store requires a mask, didn't do that because they got their freedoms. They're putting a face mask on when a private company is asked to do that because they're concerned for the safety and well-being of their own customers, including the ones who don't put the carts back. To say it's my freedom and that this is somehow tyranny. First, give me a break. Tyranny is what we're seeing in the Middle East. Tyranny is what you see in China. In the Middle East, We see what's going on in Afghanistan, and it is illegal, like in Saudi Arabia, to be a homosexual, and the penalty for being a homosexual is death. That is tyranny. Putting a face mask on, no matter how you want to characterize it, is not tyranny. Having a series of concentration camps like they do in China because they don't like a particular religion, the Uyghurs being Muslim, that's tyranny. In China, you can't even post about Tiananmen Square and Tank Man from 1989. That is an example of tyranny. But for heaven's sakes, putting a face mask on that's proven and continues to prove to help cut down on transmission of deadly infectious diseases? That is not tyranny. That is just not tyranny. They're not even in the same ballpark. See, because ethics requires us to think about other people besides just ourselves. Because when we go out in the public and we're around other people, there is a risk of transmission. We know this. We see what's happening in Florida, where there is a tremendous pushback against a mask, about putting this on your face. Tyranny! Give me a break. As much as I dislike the traffic courts, yeah, that's corruption. But you can largely avoid that. But going out in public, you can't avoid the chance, the risk, that we might be exposed to a deadly disease, a deadly virus, and we could spread it to others. So even if you're thinking, well, my immune system, great for you. But you can spread it to somebody who it could kill. Somebody who's much older, someone who's obese, has comorbidities. They're at risk of death. You also have someone like my daughter who has Down syndrome. And people with Down syndrome are at risk for death. So ethics requires us to look beyond our own self, to not be selfish and self-centered, to be a good person, a decent person. And when you're concerned about other people, and you're concerned about other people's welfare, and you believe that you should treat others the way you want to be treated, again, not religious, rational, secular human ethics, coming from a point of empathy, I would imagine that the idea that you spread an infectious disease to an innocent person would crush me. So we do what is reasonable. And we take those reasonable precautions so that we at least try to minimize the risk. We would do something like wearing a mask and social distancing because we're concerned with the risk that is involved with going around other people. And as an ethical, honest person, you take reasonable steps to minimize. We can't just eliminate it. There is no eliminating the risk, not if you're going to be around other people, but we take reasonable steps to lessen the risk that we're going to hurt other people. And there are people who are pushing back, people who won't put the cart back, people who get to the parking lot and just leave it there. And those are the people that are causing ripple effects. And it's not just the fact that hospitals in Florida, because, like it or not, the attitude of F you, I've got mine, va fangul, ho io mio, that is the same attitude of the bureaucrats that we've railed about for so many years, at least I have. That's their attitude. Their attitude is, man, I don't give a damn. It's my way. The only thing that matters is what I want, and I want your money. It doesn't matter about due process, it doesn't matter about fairness, it doesn't matter about the facts. Give me my money. F you, pay me. Right? It's like Paulie's saying, "Fafangul, pay me." Those are the unethical actors, and we can really see how easy it is. And I would imagine that most of the people who follow this channel would agree. And at bottom, keeping things simple, keeping things provable. The only thing that matters to these prosecutors, judges, and cops, these bureaucrats, the only thing that matters is them. The only thing that they are concerned with is what they want. There's no consideration whatsoever for other people. They just do not care. And this attitude, this pushback, under the guise of my freedom, and that's a personal choice to go in and potentially infect innocent people with a deadly disease. You are exhibiting the same, see, the people who don't put that cart back, they are exhibiting the exact same attitude, the same unethical attitude. The only thing that matters is them. So the same people who refuse to put that damn cart back, the bureaucrats who only care about themselves, it's the same unethical attitude. To be a good person at least begins with caring about other people, taking reasonable steps to lessen the risk of harm to innocent people. So leave in the comments if you think I'm making an unfair, it's not a factually accurate, it's apples and oranges, to compare the attitude of not putting the cart back, the attitude of not giving a damn about other people and refusing to put on a mask when a private business requests that you do so. And that's not the same as a prosecutor like Stephen Myrie, vile individual, withholding exculpatory evidence on a regular basis, and judges putting people in jail for asking a question. If you don't think that that's a fair comparison, put in the comments exactly why. Do you really think that judges care about anybody other than themselves? You think that prosecutor and that cop cares about anybody other than themselves? And that's the unethical part. That's where it begins. Is to set aside what you want, just what you want, and to take other people's lives into consideration. See, and it's not just hospitals in Florida that are overwhelmed. So when the hospitals are at capacity because there's so many unvaccinated people who have COVID, what happens is there's no space for car accidents. There's no space to treat people with cancer. There's no space to treat other emergencies because they're overwhelmed with so many people there with an infectious disease that could have been prevented and should have been prevented. But ethics weren't considered. Other people weren't considered. It's this disgusting, vafangul, hoi o mio, F you, I got mine. It is that attitude that has, and leaving the damn cart, it's that attitude where the cart is just left there in the parking lot. And that is leading to people dying. People dying not just of an infectious disease, but like I said, the fact that hospitals are overwhelmed. It's a simple matter. Something like this works. It doesn't eliminate, but it cuts down on the transmission. It's a reasonable step that we can take, that if we're being ethical, we will take a reasonable step to lessen the risk. And I don't want to just repeat anymore because it's absolutely not tyranny. If you want tyranny, just look what's happening in Afghanistan. That is tyranny. And if you think there's some kind of economic reset, you don't have to look any further than Wall Street, because Wall Street are the ones doing it again. That after 2008 crash, they started for the next crash. So you have companies like BlackRock buying thousands and thousands and thousands of foreclosures in the United States alone. Thousands! Creating an artificial scarcity that as they drive the price up by paying cash, they price people right out of the market. But it doesn't matter because all their thousands and thousands of houses are all going up in value too. So there is a provable example of an economic reset, if that's what you want to call it. But that is something we're able to prove for the past 125, 30 years or more of a boom and bust cycle. And the boom and bust cycles have always been to the advantage of the mega rich. And it's going to be no different this time. They don't have to fake an infectious disease to bring about another recession or another depression. The rich have been doing that from time immemorial. And it's going to happen again. What it really comes down to, are you going to be the type of person who just leaves the cart right there in the middle of the parking lot, right next to where the carts go, and block all those spaces? Or are you going to be an honest, ethical person and you're going to put the cart back? You're going to take the time to do something for other people who are coming behind you. And you're going to do something positive for other people in the community. It's a very simple proposition. Ethics typically is. But that's up for you to decide. That's all I have for this particular video. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, and if you're not subscribed to No State Project channel, definitely hit the subscribe button, because I will be getting more videos out more frequently. And if you'd like to help me do that, you can go into the description, and there are several ways that you can. So the next video should be the jurisdiction, and hopefully I'll be able to shoot that next week. So hopefully you got some value out of the video, and there'll be more people that will do the right thing, and they'll put that damn cart back.